Hello and welcome to the North York Rangers podcast from Tuesday, March 26th. I am Jamie Neugebauer, and tomorrow the Rangers start their Southwest Conference Finals series with the St. Michael's Buzzers after defeating the Buffalo Junior Sabres in 6 games in a dramatic Game 6 finish, with Corey Kalk, of course, scoring the game-winning goal in the second overtime period, and that second-round battle ended last Friday, and today I got a chance to talk to Rangers head coach John Dean this morning, recapping the last series and looking forward to the next one. So without further ado, here is our conversation. So here with John Dean, head coach of the North York Rangers, and I guess, John, we'll jump right into it after a tough 6-game series against, and I think a word that you used was Buffalo's a real hockey team. Like, they're physical, they'll hit you sort of whenever they can get a chance, they'll finish their checks hard. I guess looking back over the series, what made Buffalo so successful during the regular season?
I think Buffalo's relentless. They're extremely, they're big, but they're also fast at the same time. And like you said, they don't give them a chance to use their bodies. So I just think their relentless nature, a real strong forecheck. It's tough to defend against. We had a difficult time with it, but fortunately, boys compete real hard in the battle too.
Absolutely. I guess a big key for them, especially offensively, was Tyler Jurch. I guess, what did you see from him? And sort of a similar question, what made him so successful?
Over the course of the series, in playoffs, got to know him a little bit better. Watching him play a little bit more closely, and he's sneaky in getting into quiet areas. I mean, we had a guy shadowing him all series, and every once in a while he still managed to slip away, and I guess that's what all the good players do. And even though he looks like he's small in stature, he hangs onto the puck, doesn't give it up, and usually makes a good play with it. And he's also sneaky with his shooting. He'll shoot from anywhere, and to create rebounds or to even try to sneak one past the goalie. But I thought Pooch did a great job against him, and I thought we did a pretty good job against him 5-on-5. And he got away from us in the power play, but that's to be expected with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess overall, what was sort of the game plan for the team heading into the series? And do you feel like you sort of stuck with that same game plan over the 6 games?
I think we did for the most part. We wanted to try to shut down Gurich, obviously, first and foremost. We wanted to have a strong forecheck. I think over the course of the series that the forecheck was more important for us. We got away from our forecheck a little bit. That actually made their forecheck a lot better because they broke out of their zone too easily and ended up having 3 guys in on their forecheck. When our forecheck was strong, we had good transition, good pressure. When they got into the zone, they weren't able to send 3 in our defensemen. So I thought that was important. And then in our own zone, I thought it was really important that we blow the zone and really focus on counterattack. There's no doubt they did an excellent job of pressure in our zone. Sometimes had us hemmed in there, but the nice part is we took advantage of their aggression and really made them pay in the counterattack. So I thought we did a real good job off the rush and making the most of our chances when we caught them cheating too much.
Yeah, absolutely, and turned out that it all worked out in the end, and that's good news. A big thing that has really sort of defined, I think, the Rangers, even in the first round as well, has been a commitment to shot blocking, and I know that's created some bumps and bruises along the way, as the playoffs will do to any team. I guess, was that sort of commitment to shot blocking and getting in lane something your staff talked about, or something the guys kind of picked up on their own, knowing about what playoff hockey is all about?
I think we talked about it, and having that playoff mentality and what the expectations of that playoff mentality are. But at the end of the day, every coach will tell you that it doesn't matter what a coach talks about. Players decide on their own how they're going to handle situations and what they're going to do, and they're really the guys that drive the ship and captain the ship, and obviously some leaders went forward and showed how important shot blocking is, and I think everyone followed suit. And I think all the way from our goal scorers to our defensive pushed us. Everyone's kind of stepped up and decided that it's worth it to block a shot and prevent a goal and feel the pain and to watch it go in the net. So kudos to the guys who did an unbelievable job, and hopefully we keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing, obviously, on top of that is, when the team acquired Jason Pucciarelli earlier in the year from Hamilton, the expectation on him was that he was a big game goalie, an elite goalie in this league, and I think he's really sort of proven to everyone how elite of a goaltender he is. And I guess what can you say about him that hasn't already been said? But how confident are you having him in the pipes?
Very confident, but I won't talk about goaltending.
Okay, fair enough. And then just one last question about Buffalo, and then we'll move on to St. Mike's. You had to put in guys like Michael Florindo and Max Novick and kids like that, and they stepped up very well, and they played very admirably in what's not an easy situation, stepping in right there. What would you say about the performance of especially Max Novick, somebody who just sort of jumped in for one game at the end there?
Yeah, I think everyone who's been given the opportunity has jumped in pretty large. Not everyone's had the same opportunities. When they do get the opportunities, they've stepped up. I think Florindo, every chance I put him in the lineup, every time he gets on the ice, he's been very effective. I think Novak, obviously, we put him into a pretty strong role, and we actually put him against Gurich for the final game. And we've been very familiar with Novak over the course of the midget season with both Ben Hughes, and we know what he's capable of. And not too many guys get by him one-on-one. He's a very strong skater and actually a very strong kid. So for him to step up like that in the final game against Buffalo, I think was a sense of relief for a lot of the guys on the back end there as well, because obviously with Brody out for another week or so, it's nice to know we can depend on Max Novick as well. So it's great for the confidence of the team. It's great for Max, but we weren't really worried about it as a coaching staff. We know what we have in our lineup in the stands, so we're a very confident group.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that really stuck out for me was the ability of the Rangers defense corps, which by all accounts isn't the largest defense corps, and anybody can see that, but they did a very good job handling a very, very big, very strong, very physical Buffalo forward group. But I guess let's move on now to the St. Mike's series, a team that's loaded with stars and very deep, especially up front, and with plenty of talent on the back end as well. Is there any difference to your approach against a team like St. Mike's than against teams like Buffalo or Oakville?
I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a compete level and playoff mentality, and it's going to be a fun series to watch. They're definitely deep, and I think we're deep as well. So it's just a matter of competing our butts off and seeing what happens. I think that there really is no need for any major changes.
For sure. And another thing about St. Mike's that is no secret to anybody is the attention they get from scouts, and the National Hockey League focused on guys like Matt Buckles and Troy Josephs, and that's obviously good for guys on the Rangers to sort of have that exposure, and so that scouts can see how good they are. But do you think that there's going to be any difficulty in keeping the guys focused, or do you think that you even need to even think about that?
I don't even think it needs to be thought about. I think this is a very focused group. I think they have one goal in mind, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to get there. And I don't think any peripheral stuff will get in the way of this North York group this year. They're very focused, very determined. So we wouldn't even talk about it as a coaching staff, and I don't think the players are concerned about it.
Yeah, and that'll be a huge step for these guys to play well in this series, playing in a third round conference finals. And I guess another thing is that the rivalry between these two teams, these two organizations, through proximity. Of course, North York plays at Bathurst and Finch, and St. Mike's plays at Bathurst and St. Clair, so close geographically. I guess, what does the rivalry mean to you personally, and what does the rivalry mean to the organization as a whole?
I'm not overly concerned about the rivalry, to be totally honest. I'm actually at St. Mike's. I went to school there for 3 years until I went to play hockey myself. I think rivalries are great. I'm glad that there's a close connection between the two teams. But I don't think our guys need any extra motivation to get up for what we're playing for. I really don't. There's not a lot of focus on the rivalry, more focus on what we have to get done as a unit to be successful. So, obviously the rivalry's there, but I don't think it's not something we're focused on. We're focused on what we have to do to win and the style of play we have to play to be effective. We're not going to get caught up in anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, and that'll be a big recipe to keep emotions intact and to not to give St. Mike's any free opportunities and that sort of deal. Keeping the game simple. And speaking of keeping the game sort of simple, this is sort of the first real small ice surface that the team will be playing on the playoffs. So obviously, I guess you guys maybe expected to against Buffalo, but through different circumstances, it never sort of materialized to play on a smaller rink. It was all sort of larger or regular size dimensions. Do you guys tell anything different about playing on the small ice surface at St. Mike's Arena?
Yeah, of course, there's less time and space, and guys are right on you. If you pop up a puck at a blue line, it's a scoring chance against. So there's some things we need to be concerned about. That we played there already a couple times this year, and we've played in small rinks. It's really a home ice conference, and there's other teams in the conference that have small rinks. Like Georgetown and Buffalo in the regular season, obviously. So it's not something we haven't prepared for before. So I think the guys know what that's speaking and the adjustments they need to make.
Yeah, absolutely. And just personally, obviously, from my own experience, I just love that rink. Were you a fan of playing there when you played there in the Ontario Hockey League and in junior hockey?
Yeah, it's fun to play there, but I personally think Carnegie Arena is the best rink in the league. So I'm excited to play at home, and our sight lines, our rink. There's a lot of history behind Carnegie Arena as well, and been around for a long, long time. So I'm excited to play at Carnegie more than anything, and St. Mike's rink is not something that is getting me excited at all. The idea of winning a conference is what motivates us as a group. Obviously, it's great to start getting some recognition. These guys have worked their butts off all season. So I think it's obviously a great opportunity to get the North York name on the map, but at the same time, I think that within the four walls at North York, if we weren't here right now, we'd be very disappointed. We have very high expectations this season, and we expect it to be here. So I don't think it's something that we're really overly surprised about, but at the same time, I think it'd be crazy not to ignore the fact that it's a great opportunity for everybody, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
So that was my conversation with Rangers head coach John Dean on the morning of March 26th, and the boys start their series tomorrow night at St. Mike's Arena on the road, Game 1 of the Southwest Conference Final. And you can catch the entire series on fasthockey.com if you can't come out. But of course, the Rangers would love to have every fan that we can to come out and cheer the boys on. It's been a great run so far, and they want to keep it going. So come out, support the Rangers, and looking forward to a great series.